I would like to welcome all the listeners of this program, broadcasted by Radio Tha Sanchar in coordination of Hetonda Academy. It's me, Man Singh Lama from Hetonda Academy. My dear students, in the previous class, in the previous session, I explained you about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So now let's discuss some questions about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So my dear students, can you give me the reason why the acceleration of a body moving with uniform velocity is zero? Or the question is very common for BLE examination. Give reason or give scientific reason the acceleration of a body moving with uniform velocity is zero. So can you give the answer? Okay, the answer goes like this. The acceleration of a body moving with uniform velocity is zero because its velocity always remains same. Its velocity does not change. You can write the answer like that. Again, I want to repeat. The acceleration of a body moving with uniform velocity is zero because its velocity never changes. A very common and intellectual question for you is, nothing on this universe is at rest. Again, I want to repeat. Nothing on this universe is at rest. Can you guess the answer? Well, the answer goes like this. Nothing on this universe is at rest because the earth itself is in motion. Again, I want to repeat. Nothing on this universe is at rest because the earth itself is at rest. Now, I am going to explain you distance and displacement. So, distance, the total length of path covered by a body in any direction. The total length of path covered by a body in any direction is called distance, whereas the shortest distance between 2 points is known as displacement. Again, I want to repeat. The total length of path covered by an object in any direction is known as distance, whereas the shortest distance between 2 points, or you can say like this, the shortest distance between final position and initial position of an object is known as displacement. So before, I have already told you, distance is a scalar quantity, but displacement is a vector quantity. You might have known the reason. It is because distance has only magnitude, but it does not have any direction. Displacement has both magnitude and direction, so displacement is a vector quantity. Both these two quantities are measured in meter. The SI unit of distance is meter, as well as the SI unit of displacement is also meter. Only the difference is distance is a scalar quantity, but displacement is a vector quantity. So now there are some equations in motion which we have to derive theoretically. Some equations of motion are like this. Number 1, V equals to U plus AT. Again, I am telling. Number 1, V equals to U plus AT. Here V means final velocity, U means initial velocity, A means acceleration, and T means time taken. The second equation of motion is S is equal to ut plus 1 by 2 at square. Again, I am repeating. S equals to ut plus 1 by 2 at square. Here S means the distance traveled by a body, U means the initial velocity of the body, T means time taken by the body. A means acceleration. And the third equation of motion is v square equals to u square plus 2as. Again I am repeating. The third equation of motion is v square equals to u square plus 2as. For BLE, the most repeating question is v equals to u plus at. Other two equations you are going to study in class 9. So I will explain you how to derive v equals to u plus at. Suppose a body is traveling in a straight line. So when the body is traveling in a straight line, before it travels, suppose the initial position is A and the final position is B. If the object is at A, it has the first velocity known as initial velocity. We express it with the small letter u. And when it reaches to B, I mean the final position, its final velocity, it has got the final velocity, and we express it with the small letter v. So when the body travels from A to B, it takes certain time. Suppose the time is t. Similarly, when it travels from A to B, it covers certain distance. Suppose the distance is s. And during this time, we know the speed changes or the velocity changes, so it possesses acceleration. Suppose the acceleration is a. Again I am repeating. Suppose, how will you derive v equals to u plus at? Again I am telling you, my dear students, v equals to u plus at is a very common seen question for BLE students. So I am going to explain you how to derive the equation. Please listen carefully. I will go step by step. Solution. Suppose a body is traveling from point A to B along a straight line. Here the body has initial velocity u, final velocity v, distance traveled s, time taken t, and acceleration a. Now by formula, acceleration within bracket small a equals to final velocity minus initial velocity by time taken, or a equals to v minus u by t, or v minus u equals to at, or v equals to at plus u. Now just arrange the equation finally. Therefore v equals to u plus at. This is how we prove. Again I want to derive the equation v equals to u plus at. Suppose a body is traveling from point A to B. Here the body has initial velocity u, final velocity v, distance traveled s, time taken t, and acceleration a. So by formula, a equals to final velocity minus initial velocity by time taken, or a equals to v minus u upon time t, or v minus u equals to at, or v equals to at plus u. Finally v equals to u plus at. In this way we have to prove the equation v equals to u plus at. It carries 2 marks. At the end of the session, we will discuss some simple numerical problems related to motion. So before that, I would like to explain you by giving some important questions related to motion. The question is, distance can never be zero, but displacement can be zero. Again, the distance can never be zero, but displacement can be zero. Can you think the answer of this question? Okay, my dear student, the answer goes like this. Suppose an object is traveling along a straight line from point A to B. Suppose a body is traveling from point A to B on a straight line. So when the body travels from point A to B, suppose it covers a distance of 10 meter. Then again, when it returns back from B to A, it covers another 10 meter, but it is in opposite direction. But if we check the total distance traveled by the body, then we can find out it is 20 meter, because 10 meter from A to B in forward direction and another 10 meter from B to A in opposite direction. But anyhow, the object has covered total distance of 20 meter, because 10 meter from A to B and another 10 meter from B to A. So here the distance is 20 meter. But if we think about the displacement, at first the object was at A, then it reached to B. So it covered a distance of 10 meter. So let's take this 10 meter plus, because we know displacement is a vector quantity and it has got a particular direction. It possesses direction. That's why suppose the body is traveling from point A to B, then it covers 10 meter. Let's take this as plus 10 meter. Now if the body travels from point B to A, it means now its direction changes, is going in opposite direction, so it becomes minus 10 meter. So if we find out the total sum, if we find the sum of these two distance traveled by the body, then we can find plus 10 meter minus 10 meter, both get cancelled and the total displacement becomes 0. So this is a very suitable example to explain that distance can never be 0, but displacement can be 0. Now we have almost come to the end of the lesson motion. So before I would like to jump to some numerical problem, I would like to again explain you in short. I would like to revise in short so that you can easily memorize it. Every object in the universe are in two conditions. They are either in motion or at rest. If a body changes its position with respect to its surrounding, it is said to be in motion. But if the object does not change its position with respect to its surrounding, it is said to be at rest. Motion is of two types. They are uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion is also known as variable motion. In uniform motion, a body always covers equal distance at equal interval of time. But in non-uniform motion, the body does not cover equal distance at equal interval of time. Again, there are two types of physical quantities that which we are going to read in motion lesson, that is vector quantity and scalar quantity. Vector quantity are those physical quantity which possess both magnitude and direction, but scalar quantity are those physical quantity which possess only magnitude but not the direction. Next, speed and velocity. Speed, the distance traveled by a body in unit time, is known as speed. The distance traveled by a body in unit time in a particular direction is known as velocity. There is another definition of velocity also, the rate of change of displacement. The rate of change of displacement is called velocity. Speed is a scalar quantity, but velocity is a vector quantity. Next, acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is known as acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is known as acceleration. Its SI unit is meter per second square. It is calculated by using formula acceleration equals to final velocity minus initial velocity upon time taken. Distance and displacement. Distance does not possess any direction. Distance does not possess any direction, but displacement possesses a particular direction. Distance, the total length of path traveled by a body in any direction, is known as distance. But the shortest distance traveled by a body in a particular direction is known as displacement. So, distance has no any direction, but displacement has a particular direction. Then some equations of motion. In class 8 for BLE, we are going to practice the first equation of motion, that is V equals to U plus AT. There are other equations of motion also which you are going to study in grade 9, that is S equals to UT plus 1 by 2 AT square, and the third one is V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Some important question you can note down. Explain with example. Rest and motion are relative terms, or rest and motion go hand to hand. Number 2, distance can never be 0, but displacement can be 0. Then give scientific reasons. Number 1, the acceleration of a body moving with uniform velocity is 0. Number 2, force is a vector quantity. Number 3, work is a scalar quantity. Number 4, nothing on this universe is at rest. Then differentiate between the following terms. Number 1, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Number 2, vector and scalar quantity. Number 3, speed and velocity. Number 4, acceleration and retardation. And number 5, distance and displacement. So my dear students, I request you to please practice these questions. It will help you to revise the lesson motion. And the final questions are: define the following terms: motion, rest, speed, velocity, vector quantity, scalar quantity, retardation, acceleration, and the most common question from the lesson motion goes like this: what is acceleration? Write its formula and its SI unit. Now my dear students, we are going to discuss some simple numeric problems related to motion. Please listen the question. Number 1, find the acceleration of a body whose velocity changes from 20 meter per second to 80 meter per second in 10 seconds. Again I am repeating. Find the acceleration of a body whose velocity changes from 20 meter per second to 80 meter per second in 10 seconds. So whenever you are going to solve any numerical problem, please go through the question carefully. Try to understand each and every terms which are given in the question. So if we read the question carefully, then we can see that here two velocity are given. First velocity is 20 meter per second and the another velocity is 80 meter per second. At the meantime, here time is also given. So how to solve this numeric problem? So it goes like this. Solution. Here initial velocity u equals to 20 meter per second. Final velocity v equals to 80 meter per second. Acceleration a equals to what? So it is clear that in this question we have to find out acceleration. So my dear students, just think the formula to calculate acceleration. I know you have already memorized it. The formula of acceleration a equals to v minus u by t. You know, here v means final velocity, that is 80 meter per second. U means initial velocity, that is 20 meter per second, and t means time taken, that is 10 seconds. So by using this formula we can easily calculate the acceleration. Okay, so a equals to v minus u by t, or a equals to, let's put the value of v, u and t. V, in place of v we have to put 80 minus, in place of u we have to put 20 by, in place of t we have to put 10, or a equals to, just simplify it, 80 minus 20 equals to 60 by 10. Now the 10 can easily cancel 60 with 6 time, or a equals to 6 meter per second square. Here you have to write down the answer in sentence, like the acceleration of the body is 6 meter per second square. And one most important thing you have to remember, when you are putting the value of v, u and t in the equation, there it is not necessary to mention their respective units. I mean, no need to mention 80 meter per second minus 20 meter per second by 10 second. Don't mention the unit. Simply write down 80 minus 20 by 10 and simplify it. Finally, you have to put the SI unit of acceleration, that is meter per second square. Now I am going to read out another simple question for you. Try to understand and try to understand what terms are given in the question and what you have to find out in the question. Calculate the final velocity of a car that starts from 20 meter per second and gains an acceleration of 5 meter per second square after 5 seconds. Again I am repeating the question. Calculate the final velocity of a car that starts from 20 meter per second and gains an acceleration of 5 meter per second square after 5 seconds. So my dear students, I think you are already clear what terms are given in the question and what you have to find out. So let me tell you how to find out the solution. It goes like this. Solution. Initial velocity u equals to 20 meter per second. acceleration A equals to 5 meter per second square, time taken T equals to 5 seconds. And you know what we have to find out in this question? If you go thoroughly, you can know that you have to find out the final velocity in this question. So my dear students, you just think by using which formula you can easily find out the final velocity. So I have already told you there are some equations of motion. So we can hear the suitable formula to calculate final velocity in this question is v equals to u plus at. Am I right? V equals to u plus at, because v is the final velocity, and in this question we are given u, we are given a, we are given t. So why don't we use v equals to u plus at? Alright, so we have to use v equals to u plus at, or v equals to, in place of u we have to write down 20, plus in place of a we have to write down 5, and in place of t we have to write down 5 according to the question, or v equals to 20 plus 5 5 are 25. Now finally v equals to, we have to add these two, we have to add 20 and 25, that is 45. So v equals to 45 meter per second is the final answer. So here also we have to express the answer in sentence like the final velocity of the car is 45 meter per second. Now I am going to read out the third numeric question for you. Please listen. A bus started from rest. After 5 seconds, it gains an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. Calculate its acceleration. Again I am repeating. A bus started from rest. After 5 seconds, it gains an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. Calculate its acceleration. So my dear students, in this question, u, the initial velocity u is 0. How do you know this u is 0? Because if you read the sentence in question, a bus started from rest. Whenever such sentence is repeated, like a bus started from rest, a bus is moving from rest, a bus started to move from rest, then in such question always the initial velocity is 0, because the bus was at rest initially, then it started to move. That is why its initial velocity is 0. So initial velocity u equals to 0. Time taken t equals to 5 seconds. Acceleration a equals to 5 meter per second square. And we have to find out final velocity, that is v. So the same formula we have to use, that is final velocity v equals to u plus at. Again I am repeating, here we have to use v equals to u plus at, because we are given the value of u, the value of a, and the value of t. So if we use v equals to u plus at, then we can easily solve this problem. Or v equals to, in place of u we have to put 0, plus in place of a we have to put 5, into in place of t we have to again put 5. So or v equals to, we have to remove 0 because 0 has no any value. So 5 5 are 25 meter per second is the final answer. Therefore the final velocity of the bus is 25 meter per second. Now I am going to read out the fourth numeric problem, and the question is like this. A car moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second gains 50 meter per second after 5 seconds. Again I am repeating. A car moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second gains 50 meter per second after 5 seconds. Calculate the distance traveled by it during this time. Calculate the distance traveled by it during this time. So according to the question, the solution goes like this. Solution: u means initial velocity, so u equals to 10 meter per second. Final velocity v equals to 50 meter per second. Time taken t is equal to 5 seconds. And here we have to calculate distance traveled, that is s equals to how much. So by formula, distance traveled equals to u plus v whole divided by 2 into time. Again I am repeating the formula of distance traveled. Distance traveled s equals to u plus v by 2 into t. So according to question, in place of u we have to put 10 plus, in place of v we have to put 50 whole divided by 2 into 5. And if we simplify this equation, we can find 30 into 5 equals to 150 meter. So the distance traveled by the car during this time is 150 meter. So my dear students, I have already revised the above taught terms for you. So for today's class, this much. Thank you everybody.